G'day fellas and welcome to another game of Beyond All Reason. Today we're playing Cortex and we're going to be doing a strategy that I like to call Duck, Duck, Go. You've used it before whenever you were searching for something online and maybe you didn't want to use Google. It's a different kind of strategy that we're going to be going for, not something like that. So we're going to be taking some inspiration here from Fruit and just starting off with our two mexes. And the idea is that we want to be able to take those rocks in the middle of the pond. And the only way we're really going to be able to guarantee that is if we take it extra early. So that's what we're going to be looking for here. So I'm going to make sure that I just go for my 3 wind turbines and hopefully we get some overflow from our allies. Normally this player here, no thank you, no thanks. So normally that player will go C relatively quickly, but it doesn't look like it's happening today. So we're going to open up with just 2 Lazarus into, I think we'll go into 5 constructors. So this strategy, I still haven't refined it 100%, so I don't know all the exact timings. I can say that much. Let's do this. Just make sure we reclaim and do a bit of reclaiming like that. Wonderful. And now let's get our next resbot out. So he's just going to come back here and just... actually, let's go over here. And I think that's a constructor, so now we're going to throw down our metal extractor here. And that's our opening. Nice and simple so far. Now we're going to turn around, look to boost out our constructor. We're going to start by just putting a radar over here and then going straight into our geo. Now, our commander is going to rotate between throwing down these wind turbines and helping out with the lab. And so the idea here is that we're going to stay on land for almost all of this game, but we will actually take the water from our opponent. So let's send this constructor down and then bring it back up like this. And now that we've got plenty of energy at the moment, we're just going to bring our Lazarus down, bring him down a little bit further, and we're going to start by taking our metal extractors here. And after this guy here, I think we can just... Can we cancel this construction bot? I think we probably can cancel this construction bot. What does that give us? 4 constructors? Yeah. So we'll just start getting to work now on... I think right there, our nano can start. Oh, what we also want to do, we can probably do it with this constructor here. You know what? I'm just going to go into another construction bot just because I'm confident. I think we're not going to have the build power otherwise. So we're going to be going for a very fast T2 and we're going to be going into ducks. Which are a really strong amphibious unit on the water. They've got a torpedo, they've also got a laser, so they can fight on land as well. And they're immune to any kind of, I say air threat, but any kind of shuriken threat. That's the biggest threat that you've got, shurikens. So they're immune to that just because they do stay under the water. And so that's going to allow us, hopefully, my tanks are getting stuck in factory. Well, that is very, very awkward. We don't like that. So... I think we're probably going to be running out of energy right here. So I think we might... Let's see if we can get our nano up first before the commander eats all of it. Actually, energy seems okay here. Okay, all right, there we go. I wasn't expecting that. Let's look to throw down our energy storage here as well. That might eat into a fair bit. Let's just keep you sucking away from that. And we'll keep these guys on, but we'll make sure these guys are on high priority. These guys are on low priority. And now we want to start making some grunts, so we're just making sure that we're checking out here. We want to go up to 10 grunts in total, just to protect everything. And it looks like our geo is going to be coming up soon. I think we're also getting a little bit of a fighter wall coming up, which is wonderful. And now our geo is online, so let's get to it. Wonderful. Cool bananas. All right, so everything's going pretty well so far, so we're going to go into our T2. And we're going to make sure that we're just going to assist this lab for now. And we're going to go into an advanced construction bot. And we're just going to make... Wait, what? It's on a rock? I've never seen that before. So we're going to make 4 in total, 4 energy converters. And then from there, we're going to be blowing our comm. We just need to make sure that we reclaim everything. So I'm going to bring these guys back over here now. They can reclaim. Because, as I said, we want to go up to a total of 10 grunts just to defend. Early on here, I think this is pretty important for us to do, just to make sure that we don't die to any kind of hovers or anything like that. And it looks like the last one is about to come out.
An allied commander self-destructed.
So we don't want to blow up the commander just yet. So let's just bring him over here. And now let's make sure everybody... So we want to eat our bot lab. And then once our bot lab is gone, then we're going to blow our comm. So I think we can time that right now. So that should be fine. So now they're going to all put their... Well, we're okay. And so now we're going into T2. So we've taken all 3 of our mexes, we've taken our geo, and we've taken our energy converters. And now we are looking to eat our comm for the last bit of metal. And you can see we've got plenty of metal of this stage, which feels just so absolutely awesome, because normally you're really kind of going slow on it. So we can utilize that metal just to go straight into it. Looks like we've got some hovers coming in. So it looks like hovers has been the opener from our opposite spot. Does that cover? Oh, I don't know if that covers the metal extractor up there on that position. Let's just add in this one instead. We'll throw this one down anyway. And let's look to add in our metal storage as well. But you can see that we can go up to quite a large number of energy converters of nanos here. So let's bring out... We're going to keep our Lazarus out, actually. And let's just start reclaiming. I think that's probably wise here, because we are actually stalling out. So let's start reclaiming everything here. We just want to make sure this is on high priority. This is on low priority. All right, so that's all finished. You can now move over here. So we're going to suck away this one
spotted.
very, very quickly. Beautiful. And we'll have to keep an eye on front as well. That's going to be another key factor here, is we want to make sure that that we are paying attention to the front. Let's just get 3 of these guys. We just want to focus on building these up ASAP. And now we look for our APHIS. So we're going to throw our APHIS down. I think we're probably going to throw our APHIS down here. Seems to be a good spot. And let's bring all these guys back. And you can see that we are just pumping with metal at the moment. We are having such a good time. And now we're going to take 3 constructors out over with us with our advanced constructor bot. And this guy... Excuse me? Oh, never mind. Okay, that makes sense. So now we're going to go up to about 10 nanos. I think is pretty decent here. So we're camping it up on the shoreline. We've got 10 of our AKs out here. So we're pretty safe from that angle. So let's keep on adding in more and more and more. Oh, we ate our commander all the way. That was a big mistake for me. I shouldn't have done that. But look, it's been made now, so you just got to kind of live with it. It sucks. It sucks when you make that mistake. Having the commander is really, really clutch. I played this strategy before, and because I had the commander, I was actually able to keep myself alive in one of the games here. Oh, I got to get you guys working. Sorry. Jeez, I tell you what, it's all falling apart right now. And I think we can go into... Let's go in for one more. I'm going to put these guys on the APHIS so that this gets built only by 2 of the construction turrets, because we don't need all of these guys here. All right, so we've managed to hold this pretty well. Obviously, there's no real threat here for the moment. I don't know who I'm up against.
Low power.
Now, speaking of low power, our Lazarus up here, that's probably a bit closer for you, buddy. There we go. And now we can bring these guys back. So at the moment, we're on target for an APHIS before 10 minutes, which is pretty good when you think about it. Now, we haven't gone for our advanced geo for a very good reason, and that's because the enemy can look to target this down. We haven't looked to upgrade our metal extractors here, and that's once again because our enemy can target them down. So it all just, you know, we take them early on, and then that's it. We kind of forget about them, and we utilize them to get into our APHIS sooner, because once we've got our APHIS up, we're in a much safer spot. So let's see how we're doing. We're still probably a little bit too far ahead on our metal, so I'm just going to look to eat these. We will need to keep our constructors alive, unfortunately, all of these little guys. We'll leave one of them back here, but we're going to have to power through this. We need to keep our wind turbines, but we can eat our energy storage. So let's bring this down, and I'm going to start eating the energy storage, because that is 175 metal. We just want to make sure that we don't overflow it, and it looks like we probably not necessarily going to overflow it. Let's bring that back like this here. Yeah, it's not really coming down, so I'm just going to eat it. Let's there we go. Cool. So we'll eat it, and we'll leave it. Let's check in on the front. Front is holding, which is wonderful. Everything looks to be going well, except for top side, but I mean, this was kind of to be expected. Right, we've got a brand new player up there, so that is always going to be happening. And now we're going to be looking to throw down our advanced energy converters. So our timing here, a little bit after 10 minutes. Not the best timing, but at the same time, I'm still pretty happy with this. This is like, compare it over to our current backline. He's got like 1 fusion up, and then this guy only getting his T2. Like, we're pretty ahead of the game at this point. So we're going to look to throw down, I think we can probably throw down 5 of these, and we'll also throw down an anti-nuke as well. So I make sure that I position my anti-nuke away from everything else. So let's go with like that. We can also throw down 3 of these. So we just want to throw them down whenever we've got the metal to throw them down. Like that. So I can probably go into a couple more, actually. Let's just max out on them. That'll do me for now. And now we can look to focus these down. And so we haven't heard a single peep out of our guy on the opposite side. So I don't know who we're playing against. Now, keep in mind, even if you're playing against a good player here, they're not going to really aggress on you too much from this position, even at this stage of the game. We're still quite early in, 11 minutes in. So it's going to take time for them to get their missile cruisers out. It's going to take time for them to do all the things that they need to do. So because of that, you kind of buy yourself a fair bit of time here doing this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to drop down our tier 2. So we're going to look to get that up here as well. We can get all of our constructors on this. And we're going to go and take our advanced metal extractors right now. So we can bring these guys down as well. But the idea here is that we look at front and we go, do we need to support front? Not really. Front looks okay. So I'm going to instead go for just a whole bunch of ducks. They're on the second page here. So I'm going to go for about, I think 30 ducks is a pretty reasonable number. We want to try and focus that anti-nuke though. So let's make sure we put that on high priority. Wonderful. And now we can turn it off, and let's get our constructors down here to help out. And let's begin it. So from here, we're going to look to do this. Then we'll upgrade our Geo. We'll also put an advanced radar down. In fact, we should probably do the advanced radar first. And then we'll make sure that we probably throw down just a couple of air turrets. So it's just something like that, just to cover for any kind of air raids. Just like that. Because we're always going to be able to make additional constructors from our T2 lab, which we've got. Keep in mind, we've got our T2 lab sitting up here. So I can now look to reclaim these AKs as well for some additional metal. But at this point, we're very happy, right? Like, we've made it successfully to where we want to be. We're pumping out ducts. We've got our anti-nuke up. We don't really have a threat at the moment. You know, we're taking our additional advanced metal extractors. We haven't been challenged on the water whatsoever. Normally, I'd look to get a radar down here, but we've got one up covering here, and we haven't seen a single peep out from the enemy just yet. So, obviously, it feels kind of like I'm playing against some AI. But let's see if we can reclaim all of these. So, we're up to 15 ducks now. And the idea is that we're just going to take our ducks, we're going to win the water, and then we're going to start putting pressure on towards the enemy geo position. And we're going to do that in a couple of different ways. But my favorite is through these little guys here, bed bugs. Scuttles are also really fun as well to do it with. So you can see we're starting to stack up quite a bit of energy here. So I suspect this is because an APHIS is about to come online, or rather, so what I might do is I might go in for a T2 bot right now, and I'm going to look to put down another one of these energy converters. Just because we can afford it. And I'm also going to make sure that I get a Twitcher out as well after this. And then we can actually look to reclaim. But we don't want to reclaim until we know the front is safe. It looks like it's got a little bit of problems over here, but it doesn't really look... I mean, I see 3 colors down here, so maybe... I mean, if with the Twitcher, I can always look to get out they used to be called Pyros, but they're now called Fiends. So that's always going to be an option for me as well. I can look to do that. So 3 players on their right mid. So maybe it's a good idea I go and help out just a little bit. Because for me, like, even a little bit of help is a huge amount for the front line. So how about I'm going to go into, say, 10 Sheldons, an Augur, and a Deceiver for the front line. I think that should be more than enough. So now I'm going to rally those out over here. I've got 30 ducks, which is going to be more than enough to take water from my enemy. And we are going to get going. You can see just how quickly we're able to pump this out now. These guys are going ham, so let's now look to get down a couple more nanos. Blue is gearing up to take his C. That's it. Let's get you guys over here. So now we're going to look to retake the C about 15 minutes. So ideally, in a perfect world, he should have looked to have hit T2 by now. And he should start thinking about looking to put on pressure towards that middle. So what we're going to do is now that we have finished creating our units, we are going to start putting down all of our APHIS. So we're going to make sure that these guys are just guarding up some Sheldons, and now we're going to push these in. And what I might do is I might just look to put in just a couple. I might start it off with a scuttle and then go into just like 15 bed bugs. All right, so we're all good. Ducks pushing out across the map. So once again, we kind of want to keep them all together because they're quite strong that way. We don't really want to spread them out. And so there's our scuttle. So I'm going to make sure that I turn him cloaked, even though we're quite far away. You know what? We're going to keep him visible for now because it's still quite a bit of energy that we're draining otherwise. Let's make sure that we're helping out. We can bring these guys back. Our Lazarus. We might need these. Actually, let's just reclaim stuff that we don't need. Don't need our wind turbines. So North Sea, we got double ducks happening right here. We got ducks on the top side. Now, you can do this with the arm with their pelicans, but I wouldn't advise. Oh, sorry, they're called platypuses now. I wouldn't advise it. They're not as strong as the ducks as taking water. They're still really strong. Don't get me wrong, but they're just not as good as the core counterpart. So it looks like a couple of supporters going to come out here, and you can see that we're shredding through them because we've got those torpedoes. And once again, oh, Sheldon's under attack. We got to be careful over here. All right, so we're gonna do like a nice little spread, and then we'll come in because it doesn't look like there's too much presence out here. Just a shipyard for the moment. Duck is under attack. That's absolutely fine, and we're just gonna make sure that we come back here, and we're gonna begin putting down. We want to make sure that these are relatively close. Let's just throw these down over here. Probably a little bit late, but we should be okay. All right, so it looks like there's a torpedo launcher, so we'll focus that
T2
down.
Unit detected.
He's actually gone for a T2 bot lab himself. Commander's here as well. So we've won the water. So we're up against Stargazer. This might be his very first game that he's ever played. But just remember, the strategy still stands, okay? It's not just about him. Where's my scuttle? Don't tell me my scuttle died. Oh my lord, look at all the torpedo launches he's got along the edge of the map. Mad respect, dude. Whoa, 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 we're stacking up a whole bunch here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is throw down a storage, and we're also gonna go for a whole bunch of nanos at the same time. Probably don't want them in that configuration. Probably want them something like this. We gotta hurry up with that storage. Hurry up with that storage.
Warning, mines were detected.
All right, that's one for the good guys. Let's bring them up and look to attack the front here. I think that's probably fine. Now, do we want to look to support mid a little bit more? Maybe we can go for a couple more Sheldons, couple more Arbiters, something like that. And let's look to take back the water. We always want to put those guys on hold fire as well. Keep that in mind. All right, so now let's go into our next APHIS. There's the commander. Oh. Commander goes down. And with that, we're now able to do some real damage here. Yeah, you can see not the most optimal position here from our opponent on that side. And let's begin adding in our next set. We want to try and get these down a little bit ahead of the curve. We can look to reclaim here as well. All right, looks like all of our ducks did end up dying. I think we did some pretty good damage. Like, obviously we donated metal. I think that last attack probably wasn't the best. I think if I was going to do it again, I would look to change the way that I attack. Now, can I make a Juno with my Twitcher? I don't think I can. Okay, that's something that is missing from the Twitcher that kind of justifies having the construction bot. So let's get that out. Just because we do want that. So now that we've got the construction bot, let's throw down a Juno here as well. And we can probably just go like one more up here, actually. That's too far away. Let's throw it down right there. And let's just go into our next APHIS. We're just making lots of APHISes, so we'll throw in our Juno, just so that we can look to hit mid. And now the question is, how are we going to now look to leverage the economy that we've built to win the game? That's the big question, because we're 20 minutes in. We're only on 3 APHIS. And I know a lot of people will say, Drongo, only on 3 APHIS at 20 minutes. But at the end of the day, you know, it could be a lot more than that. So what I'm thinking is we might go into air. So I'm going to start prepping that right now. We're going to go straight into T2 air. I'm going to have a look at how my airplay is doing. So lots of advanced solars, not a whole bunch of fusions though. And it looks like we're almost finished on that already. So let us, I think we can just throw down something like that. That's absolutely fine. And let's look at going now. Does that reach? It doesn't reach everybody. I think that's probably about the best we'll get. We'll throw it down right there. All right, so APHIS is now online, and we can begin hitting the front. So let's do that. We've got spam coming in as well. So I'm going to put on my auto skirm, which is just amazing. If you haven't downloaded this, you probably should. Let's turn this down a little bit. So what it's going to do is it's going to make all of my units automatically retreat if something gets too close to them. So it's pretty damn cool. I'll show you exactly how it works. So we're going to start off just by going into a whole bunch of fighters. So we'll watch how... have they got tremors? They do too, the memers. No, wait, that's not tremors. That's just a whole bunch of siege. So we hit them with the Juno. That exposes everything. You can see we just took out their Sneaky Pete. And now we're just going to start hitting away at the front line with our Sheldons. They're going to have to fall back unless they want to push forward. So you can see that we're starting to really stack up quite a bit of metal here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start throwing down nanos as a response to that metal. How much have we got on the stockpile? Just the one. Soon. And so what's going to happen is if we get too close, hopefully we'll start to move back. But you can see they're not really... To be honest, they probably should have moved back by now. I'm just going to move them back naturally. Who needs auto skirm? We're just going to keep on keeping them back here. We just want to move away from those enemy units. And behind this, we are just going absolutely crazy. We've already got up to 30 Nighthawks, which is wonderful. Right, Nighthawk is under attack. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, so because the Nighthawks are under attack, we're just going to go straight into the torpedo bombers. So we should be able to just focus some of these out now. So we're going to like 20 torpedo bombers. So that's another way for us to take back the water, because we didn't actually take all of his... we didn't take all of his boats offline. So another thing that we've got as a potential threat is the threat of marauders. So now I'm going to look to prevent those from coming in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Advanced Constructor and then back into Nighthawks. How are we doing? Sheldon's under attack on the front. What's going on over here? Wait, why are you guys attacking ground? I didn't want that.
Warning, mines were detected.
Mines were detected. Okay, so now we've got enough anglers. So let's move out over here. I'll bring the Nighthawks as well. And now this constructor is going to build a whole bunch of walls. And the idea is that we want to build these walls in a way that is going to give us a little bit of a maze. Oh my lord, speaking of a maze right there, ducks coming in, that's not good. Okay, so we need to respond to this immediately.
Metal extractor lost.
I did not expect the duckening. Hurry. We got shurikens here. The Doomsday's holding. I think we managed it. Now, where are my anglers? They're out over here. All right, we cleaned it up. The shurikens, those shurikens came in clutch, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Whew. Meanwhile, on the front, it looks like we're just winning, so let's just go for a conversion here. So we're just going to go into 10 hailstorms. Nice and easy. You can see that the metal's starting to get a little bit crazy here, so one of the things I love to do at this point in the game is go into a whole bunch of bot labs. That's not T3 on me, is it, I hope? So I like to go into a whole bunch of bot labs, so I build them a very specific way, so I leave enough room in here just to drop down. If we take a look here, I've got enough space here to put in my advanced energy converters, and now I'm just going to spam T1 towards the front. So let's do that. And let's just make sure that we are spreading it like that. And it looks like the Marauders are coming out, so the game's not over just yet. All right, where are our bombers at? So we've got our 10 hailstorms, so let's take them in. We need to start going into a couple more Nighthawks. And let's begin to attack with anglers now. We're overflowing metal. That's never something you want to hear. Constructor. Quickly. Quickly. We need air constructor as well. Get out over here. We got a whole bunch more metal here that we can get rid of. Let's just bring... I'm just going to bring all my air over. So the trick is that we want to come up around this top side, and we want to bomb into this back base. So I'm going to show you how we do that. There's a very specific way that we do it. So we bring the Nighthawks first. They're going to be our scouts. They're also going to clear out the route for us. So I'm going to come across like this. And you can see that he's already got flakkers prepared for this attack. We're looking to try and find any way through. I'm just going to fall back off that. Really well positioned there. I don't know exactly... I was not expecting that at all. So much flak. All right, so we got shut down by air. So that was impressive. I'm not going to lie. I've got no idea where their base is. I think I can see the beginnings of it there. But we're going to continue going into Nighthawks. And I think we're just going to meme. I think we're going to go into a dragon. We could probably just go into dragons right now. But the point is, like, the other thing is we want to continue scaling our economy. This is a really important part of it. Let's reclaim all these things that we don't need. How'd we go on the front? It looks like our front got absolutely destroyed. You can see that we're still kind of walling up over here. So I'm going to look to make sure that we wall in the front here as well. That was way too close for comfort. I'm not going to lie. That was really too close for comfort. I probably should have got on defense a little bit sooner than what I did. But obviously, we held it pretty well. So now you can see the T1 spam is coming through. I'm going to bring in my fighters just to clear out these shurikens. And make sure that they retreat as well. And let's throw down... We can probably start to throw these guys down now. Just because eventually you'll need it. Let's hit all of these guys. I think that's how that works. I'm not 100% sure. Let's bring these back. Fighter numbers are still really quite good at this point. And where's our T2? I think that's him right there. It is. So let's put this down. And we can just throw down a whole bunch more like this. And we're going to eat our bulwark as well. No, wrong guy. We don't want to eat that. And let's add in our last constructors here. So our APHIS is now coming up in pretty close to like 20 seconds, which isn't bad at all. But we are going to need more defenses down here. We do have this radar, but I guess I wasn't paying attention when it came through. So the T1 spam's still working, but it's going to start falling off because we have to build things out over here. Or not because we have to, but because we are. And do we... I mean, we can do dragons right now, but we're kind of scaling our economy. That's the other thing to note. It's really important for us to scale here. We want to make sure that we're able to continue adding in more and more units as the game goes on. So that's what we're looking to do. Just adding in more and more APHIS. Got a couple more we can throw down here. Another attack coming in. What do we got? We got some turtles coming in. I don't really like turtles. They're very, very easy to EMP bomb together with any kind of aerial EMP, right? Like shurikens together. God, that's sexy, he says. Yes, that's sexy. All right. Let's work our way back over here now.
Enemy flagship detected.
I'm assuming that's topside. Okay, so let's go deal with that. So what we're going to do to deal with that we're going to look to put out a fire is we're just going to start rallying over the torpedo bombers. So once we finish this APHIS, we'll be able to really put the pedal to the metal. But we don't want our player over here to be under pressure. I mean, at this point, the game's pretty much over. And so there's a couple of different things that you can do. So I'll show you what you can do at this point. Some of the things that I like to do. So the first one is big boy T3 spam. So that looks something like this. So let's get our construction aircraft. So you put this down in this kind of orientation like that. And the idea is that you're going to spam out T3 from all of these. So you can put all of these nanos down. And we always want to try and build in our grid. As you guys can see, I have a thing for grids. And we can put in these right here so that they're all nice and interconnected. Not interconnected, but you get what I mean, right? Everything here is built with that grid in mind. So what we can do is we can put these guys back here on high priority, just so that they're able to pump out these units much faster. And then that means less metal is going into our experimental gantry. So we're still spamming out the T1. Enemy is looking to hold on, which is absolutely fine. I kind of like it when they do that, because it just allows you to keep on scaling. So we're at 9 APHIS at the moment. Let's check in with our backline. Oh, he's doing pretty well. 3, 6, 8. 8 APHIS. Not too bad on our eco player. I'm impressed. That's pretty damn good, man. That's not bad at all. At this point in the game, to have that many APHIS, that's pretty darn good. All right, let's check in. How many torpedo bombers have we got? We got 29. So I think that should be more than enough. So let's go in now and look to hit that flagship. You can see that the flagship is going to be coming back now. There's a chance that he's going to have some shredders there with him. So we're just going to make sure that we move our torpedo bombers out, away, like that, and then fly them in over the top. We're going to look to focus down any of those anti-airships first. It doesn't look like there's any. So we're going to set our target. And we're going to say goodnight to the flagship. So you can see its health dropping. And then that just means, you know, that's a whole bunch of metal that's just been wasted. And we're just so easily able to clean it up by doing that. You can see there's the Dragon Slayer down there, so let's go fix that up. And then we can just go... So air is by far, like, the best thing, in my opinion, about winning games, right? If you want to win games, just play. Or just really go for air. Oh. It's a great way to shut people down like that. And... yeah, it's very frustrating to deal with. Commander, good night. Good night, little guy. You're gonna cause quite a nice chain there. And so now their red player is essentially shut down. Looks like they're holding on. So you can see we're overflowing metal. So nice little way to stop that is to go into a juggernaut. Is there a reason why you guys didn't decide to add in more? There we go. So it's your classic 40-second juggernaut coming out now. And then, of course, we never want to stop. You should never stop fighter production. You always want to keep the fighter production going, no matter what. So a little bit of a mistake right there from me. So one of the things I like to do is I go like one juggernaut, one APHIS, one juggernaut, one APHIS. At this point of the game, it's best to kind of focus what you're doing. Let's put you on wait, actually. Let's bring you over here. So Zhao is OS 29 and started with 3 factories and immediately went into T2. Is that griefing? No. I mean, 3 factories is definitely like a viable strategy, but it depends which factories those are. I've done, what is it, bot lab into hovers, into T2 into T2 vehicles. So I think that's 100% viable, but it depends whether he's your air player or not. Bad play style is not griefing. He was around in 2021, but maybe didn't play for 2 years. It certainly feels like griefing, but I guess I'm biased. All right. Well, there you guys go. All right, so I feel like we've done a pretty decent job at holding our position here. Obviously, we didn't go up against the best player on the enemy team. I think these jugs could go in the water, can't they? 99% sure they can. Obviously, we didn't go up against the best player on the enemy team, but the idea here is that even if you do go up against the best player on the enemy team, you've still got these things that you can fall back on, right? We don't go into the advanced geo, so even if we lose it, we're not going too crazy, right? We don't upgrade these big mexes, so if we lose them, well, it's not going to matter too much. All it is about is getting to that APHIS nice and quick and then responding with ducks immediately. So there we go. We can now go into a Juggernaut. I mean, there's so many options for you, right? Like, I like a big Cataphract Mass as well. I think that's what they call Cataphract. Yeah, Cataphract Mass. These guys come out really quickly as well. Have a look at this. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to keep up with the metal here. Let's have a look and see. Yeah, down to 3,700 that time. You can see it coming up, and then this time it comes down to 3,800. So you can see we're not keeping up. So let's unpause our constructor now. Let's instead just do that. Move our Twitcher out of the way. And we can just keep on adding more rows of nanos. And the idea is that we're just going to get our T3 out much faster by doing that. So that's essentially it. I mean, at this point, we're very happy with the state of the game. It's obviously taken a little bit long to finish off these guys. I'm impressed by Orange and the positioning of his base. This was really smart by Orange and Yellow working together. So by having the flackers down here, or the flak, what they've done is they've basically said, you know, you can't attack into this, which is wonderful. And on top of that, he's also built his base back here. So this is a massive weak point when it comes to the backline on this map. So really well played by them for identifying that. And that shut us down, or shut down our ability to hit them in that position. But we still get through. We still find a way. Don't you love that sound? Oh, yeah. Don't you love that sound? Look at these little guys. Last comm. Look here. Where's the last comm? F5? F3. Was it back there? Let's go have a look. I can probably get out some units over there. What do we want? We probably want... We don't have the fast ones, do we? Bring everything. Just don't want to get shredded. I mean, I know it's going to happen. Oh, I saw a big flash. Boom. All right, well, there you go. That's how you do the duck, duck, go strategy. That's how you make the ducks go. If you got any questions, leave them down below. Let's take a look at the resources gathered, though, just to finish it off, because in the end, I mean... Oh, never mind. I was going to have a look at the resources, but I guess I just did my obsessive-compulsive disorder and just did that one. But anyway, oh yeah, by the way, we're on a new account, Jesus Take the Lever. I kind of like that name. I don't know. What do you guys think? Good name. Jesus Take the Lever. Anyway, we'll leave it there, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.